Life is not simply a mathematical equation where 1 plus 1 equals 2. No, in Allah's divine calculations, what we see as simple may equal 3 or even a million. There are many things we have chased for years, only to realize that when we finally obtained them, they brought us harm. Similarly, there are things we ran away from, only to discover later that they were actually the best thing for us. Let's imagine a hypothetical scenario together. Suppose we meet a man, let's call him Mr. Sin. We give him a blank piece of paper and ask him to write down everything he desires. He takes the paper, sits for half an hour, and writes down his wishes: money, social stability, success, happiness, and perhaps even a few additional desires like more food. We then tell him, Mr. Sin, we have everything you asked for except health. Would you be willing to remove health from your wish list? Of course, he would refuse. He would never exchange health for wealth or success. However, there is another order, a man named Mr. Sad, who is offering his health in exchange for the money. Would Mr. Sin accept that trade? Most likely he would not. And why? This is not greed, but rather the eternal human pursuit of perfection or idealism. We should not be surprised by Mr. Sin's reaction. Even his father was once promised paradise, and Allah, the Almighty, told him to take everything he wanted but to avoid a particular tree. But as we know, he chose to eat from it. In reality, perfection does not exist in this life, but there is a form of perfection found in obedience to Allah. You might ask, what do I mean by that? Let me explain. How many of the successes in your life were you able to predict before you began your journey? Think of your stable marriage, your good job, or even small successes, such as acquiring a small amount of gold at a time when the price was much lower. How many things did you initially reject, thinking they would bring you harm, only to find later that they brought you the greatest benefits? Life is not a simple equation. What we see with our limited understanding is only a part of the whole picture. We often chase things, but when we get them, we realize they were not what we expected. And at times, the things we ran from turn out to be exactly what we needed. Imagine you are heading to a friend's house and you have no idea where it is. What would you do? You would ask for directions or a location link. But what if you didn't trust the directions your friend gave you because they often joke around and play pranks? Would you trust your GPS instead? In the journey of life, who else but Allah knows the true path? No one else possesses knowledge of the unseen or knows what decisions will lead to harm or benefit for you. This is where faith comes in. Complete submission and trust in Allah. He is the only one who knows what lies ahead. You are walking a path without knowing the full picture, and yet the best thing you can do is to follow His guidance completely. Allah the Almighty says in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayat 2, so remain steadfast as you have been commanded, meaning we are to follow Allah's instructions to the letter. We should make every effort to fulfill our obligations and trust that Allah will guide us to the best outcomes regardless of our limited understanding. Now, does this mean that by following Allah's commands everything will be perfect and easy? Not necessarily, but following the halal, permissible path, even when the temptation of the haram, forbidden path seems strong, ensures peace in the heart. We cannot control the future, and our success is not in our hands, but Allah's. What does this obedience bring? It brings peace, even in times of hardship. Allah has given us health, and it is our responsibility to take care of it by avoiding harmful practices. Yet, if despite all efforts, health is taken away, we do not blame our actions, but instead we understand that it is a test, a trial with immense reward for patience. This acceptance and contentment with Allah's decree is the true source of richness, not material wealth. A person who is not content with what Allah has decreed, no matter how much wealth they possess, will remain poor in spirit. The conclusion is simple. There is no way out of this life except through the path that Allah has set for us. There is no escape except by following His commands with complete submission. Our efforts are the only part we control. The results are in Allah's hands, according to His wisdom and mercy. May Allah guide us all to the straight path and grant us success in this life and the hereafter. And remember, it is only through steadfastness and reliance on Him that we will find true peace and contentment. Thank you for watching this life-changing lesson. Please like, share, and subscribe for more insightful lessons that bring us closer to the teachings of Islam. Let us all strive to live with faith and trust in Allah's plan.